Hello and welcome back to our sustainable journey. I'm Steve. These are the worms, and we're gonna check in on everybody. So this is the bin with the t-shirt linen material stuff. So we're gonna dig in and see what we can see. So if you remember last time, we put this paper in here to kind of insulate them a little bit. And it keeps them protected and nice and toasty warm and whatnot. So there it is actually. There is the washcloth, and you can see everybody hanging out underneath it, chowing down on the coffee grounds. So I'm gonna pull this up. Oh my goodness, look at them all. Cool. So they're escaping the light. There was some food scraps under here, some fat, which I think that is what's left of the fat, and let me tell you, that's got a funk about it. That's really bad. But there's some babies. Oh, there's some other little bugs in there too. I don't know if you can see those, but there's definitely babies. And plenty of worms. So let me see. Yes, they're all hid away from the light. There's more under these coffee grounds. There's probably more under these coffee grounds. Yep. So, what I'm going to do, because the worms in the CFTs got some hemp last week, we're going to give these guys some hemp. So I brought a little bit of hemp over here. I wasn't sure how much I would need. So we're just going to do a couple scoopfuls. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get it moist. Because my concern, you can just see this stuff, how dry this hemp is. So we're going to wet it down a little bit. I'm going to see what that does. So I'm just going to put it in one of my handy dandy trays, and I'll add some water to it. One of our animal watering cans. They don't care. Watering your hemp. Let me put that there for now. And I will mix this up. Let's see if it actually does what I want it to do. Alright, it's a little bit more moist. I'm kind of looking for like a paste, a clay consistency here. Let me add a little bit more hemp since I have plenty. I'll mix that in with the water. It's like the world's worst cooking show, right? Cooking with hemp for your worms. Mix this up. Just trying to get rid of all the water that's in there. It all soaks up. Alright. That is probably about as good as it's going to get. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plunk it right down there in the middle where that disgusting fat was. And we'll give them, because I've got 3 bins to do this too, so we'll give them about that much. I'm just going to plunk it right in the middle. Ew. That is truly disgusting. So I believe that was the fat that was in the bin. And that is truly a disgusting smell. Let me tell you, that's pretty offensive stuff. So we're gonna cover it back up. We got pumpkins growing again. Jeez. We'll cover it up with this, and actually there's some worms in there, but we'll see if there's anybody in the corners. I doubt it. No, I don't see anybody. They're all under the blankets. They're under the blankets, under the hand towel that's in there. So I wonder how long that hand towel is going to take. I'm guessing it's going to be somewhere between 6 months and a year before we see any kind of dissolving happening, but we'll see. All right, so that's bin 1. We'll check on the other 2 next. Okay, bin 2. Looks exactly like bin 1. Although we've got some mold growing up the sides. That's a new development. You see that? You see the mold. Interesting. This one, I think, is the one with the big single, yeah, this big swath of t-shirt material. And a little bit of fat, you can see, that kind of coagulated into disgusting mess. And then we've got the worms that were underneath. Yeah, where it was. So there we go. Lots and lots and lots of worms trying to hide from the light. Makes you want to get like a dark room to do this in so that you can still see without them scurrying about. All right, we'll grab a scoop of hemp. We'll put that in there because it looks like I don't see a whole lot of coffee. Oh, maybe there's some more over that way. There's a little bit of coffee filters and coffee grounds, but not a whole lot. I'm going to give them a little bit more of the hemp because they seem to have gone through more than the last bin. That should be that. That should be that. Put that back in place. Put this back, cover them back up. Well, it's interesting how matted down this gets. I did not wet this. Come on, buddy. There we go. We just kind of sprinkled it on top a little bit, and it's just absolutely soaked. So we got a little bit of dampness on it, but not as much as it is. But you can see that it's slowly compressing, which is kind of one of the downfalls of shredded paper, is it becomes this congealed mass, and it can get solid and be really hard for the worms to break down. Versus like newspaper falls apart really easily versus shredded paper. See, so like this stuff is just crumbling. You can see where it's just like tearing super easily, versus this stuff will stay like this for a while before it breaks down in these types of bins. So, all right. Anyway, so that is number 2, and we will move on to number 3. Okay. Bin number 3, same idea. We got one on the wall. Let's start digging. So this is going to be the one with the tiny little t-shirt shreds. Oh, there's some worms up in the paper. Oh my goodness, this looks fantastic. Am I going to be able to find them? Yes. So there we go. Not a whole lot of activity. They're still there. Oh, it's a little dry on the bottom. But I also don't see any food. Is it over here? Yes. Just a little bit over here. There we go. There they all are. Worm Hotel. Look at them all. Oh, that's a great sign. I love seeing that. And then there's worm balls with babies right here. And this is what's left of that coffee filter. So these ones are doing a great job breaking everything down. Cool. So I will give them the rest of the hemp that we wetted down here. There we go. And we'll put that in there. And then these guys are going to need way more food. So let me find a spot for that. I'll just pour this in there. All right. So now they have their hemp feeding. We will cover them back up. It looks like they're definitely chowing down on this t-shirt material. So that is exciting. And you can see them all making homes in the stuff. And if you look, okay, see that little white worm? Hopefully you can see it. It's pretty darn tiny. Right there. That is called a potworm. Which is kind of ironic, but usually what happens, you get those from wet bins. There's nothing wrong with them. They're going to help break stuff down. But that is, let's see if I can aim the camera at it. It's kind of tough to see, but it's right in there. I don't know if I can zoom, but yeah, cool. So let me cover these folks back up. This is a paper. There we go. Healthy bins, healthy worms. They seem to be eating well. They seem to be happy. So we will continue leaving them alone. We'll check on them again in a week, see how much of that hemp they've chowed down. And we'll see what else we can feed them. All right. Thanks for watching. We will see you all next time. Take care.